Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and I've got game 2 of this best of 3 right in front of me. Game 1 was good, wasn't it? Seriously, that was an impressive game. Lots of back and forthing, lots of aggression, especially from Nerchio's side. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you and your main and your third and your natural all at the same time, trying to defend all 3 of them. But Elfi, he did, and it ended on a very interesting note. So before I spoil it, if you haven't watched game 1, I suggest you pause this, open up a new tab and find it. It's on my channel. But yeah, game 1, Elfi, he took it, so he's 1-0 up, all on the line now for Nerchio. Can he do it? But he's spawning up in the top left position as the red Zerg. He's Nerchio. And his opponent down in the bottom right, the blue Protoss. It is Elfi. So, Belshir is the map, interestingly, from Elfi, putting a pylon down on the low ground. And I say that in a very profound way because this area is huge. Most Protoss players in the current metagame are favouring a gateway expand on Belshir. It's just sort of that thing, like, I don't know. Again, I don't try and look at these things in a way that is super analytical, like, well, percentage-wise, if you open a Forge Fast expansion, 37% of the time you're going to lose. But just generally speaking, from casting a lot of games, I don't have any numbers, but it seems like the majority of Protoss players, especially at the high pro level, are favouring going gateway expand on this map. Just due to this large area, it's difficult to wall off. It does leave you susceptible to some really early aggression from a Zerg player. So interesting that Elfi choosing not to do that. Perhaps thinking, well, Nerchio, he went for a nice little roach timing against me previously, but wasn't in a massive hurry to try and kill me. The other thing that's interesting if you go for a gateway expand over a forge expand is the timing of the third for Zergs. Zerg's very comfortable with that kind of 4 minute 20-ish timing on a third base, and that's exactly what Nerchio is actually going to go for here. Same as, he's pulling back. Is he going to try and sneak in there? He did try and fake it that he was going to go and take the third, but choosing not to now. And I was going to make a big point of that, because if he had gone for the third first, and a gateway expand came down rather than a forge fast expand, it would have actually led to Elfi having a great little attack opportunity, and one of the reasons why that gateway expand can be really good. But of course, Nerchio now with the Overlord has scouted that it was a Nexus first opening once again, so he's going to feel perfectly safe taking that third base now, knowing that his natural will have to come down, and he'd need to go up to 3 hatches really quick anyway. So this is all good. The Overlord scout, of course, being the integral piece, and another reason why he might have faked it for a little while, not wanting to take it until he confirmed that this was here, because if this was a gateway expand, taking this third base could be disastrous. So very smart move, very smart playing there by Nerchio, all looking good. Elfi, he's got his forge up, getting the gateway down now. The cannon also being opted to be taken after the gateway, not before it, so slightly more greedily, but only 3 Zerglings making their way across the map. A second gateway is coming down, just as we saw on Daybreak, to make sure the wall off is complete, and to make sure that these Zerglings can't make their way through before this cannon's finished. So the Zerglings are going to try and pick away at the pylon, but frankly they're not going to have the most amazing time ever, because the cannon is about to finish, the gateway will get cancelled, and the cyber core will get placed in its spot. So this is all good. Probe is now coming in. Nerchio does need to take gas for about another 20 odd supply because he's on 3 bases. He wants to drone. These 2 gases for Elfi probably going to lead to a relatively quick mothership core. It's what he did in the first game, and I see no reason for him not to want to do that on this map, where again he could go for that kind of mothership core, stalker aggression, just to try and make it all look fairly fancy, force a couple of units out of Nerchio, and just really stop him being allowed to sit back and do nothing but focus on injecting and making drones. Because if you do sit back and let a Zerg player do that, you can run into some really awkward situations where actually they can get a great economy up and you're suddenly on the back foot. Whereas if you put on even light pressure, Zerg players do find it quite often easy to overreact to that. Pump out a good number of units, maybe a few too many Zerglings, rush out getting, say, a Roach Warren or something like that. But Nerchio, probably not the sort of player to do that. Should react perfectly, but again, nothing lost. Just in game 1, that single Stalker and Mothership Core aggression, nothing went down. Elfi lost 0 through doing that. He did a little bit of damage for some units, so really it's a win-win situation for him. Now, Robotic Facility is on its way, so identical build from Elfi completely this game to game 1, which makes a lot of sense because there was nothing special about game 1. No sneaky strategies, no crazy tactics, just solid play from Elfi, which won in that game. So, because of that, why mix it up? Why change something that worked? It wasn't something that relied on chance, and that's always a really good thing to do. So Elfi probably going to feel quite happy. Of course, he's got that game buffer. It's a best of 3. Even if he loses this one, he's got the option to go to game number 3 and go for something else. So this is all good. The slight difference is that he's got the Zealot in with this combination this game, so it's a slightly bigger shove against these Zerglings and will force a few more to come out. We can see obviously with the Stalker and the Zealot and the Mothership Core, you can do a good job of working away at these Zerglings. Of course, the Mothership Core does have to be a little bit cautious about the Queen, can win in a head-up fight, but the Zerglings are still being forced more on their way out. This is lowering the drone count. If the Queen goes down as well, that's a big loss, and it is getting very low now. And of course, with the Stalker there, it could be tough. Drones being forced to be pulled. The Queen is going to fall, definitely, to that Stalker. The Stalker trying to get surrounded by the drones, but is able to kite them back. The Mothership Core now, without the Queen as anti-air the third, really can do whatever it wants. It can just sit there shooting at things pretty much endlessly. Already racking up 3 kills, does do quite a nice job against these drones. So with the Stalker's help, the Mothership Core can just sit here for such a long period of time. The Queen is 3/4 of the way out, but already Elfi, he's managed to kill 4 drones and a decent number of Zerglings at the cost of 1 Zealot. In terms of the resources lost, that's about a 5th of the resources lost compared to that of Nerchio, who's now taking his 4th base up, getting all of his gas geysers and taking up to less. So he's going quite nicely. Everything pretty much standard on his side. It was a bit of a loss losing those drones, but nothing huge. He's still up at 64, so that's looking good for him. +1 is coming down here. The first Immortal has reached the field. A couple of additional gateways also coming. Ooh, a lot of additional gateways coming down. Ooh, okay, Elfi. So you've already gone up to 6 gates, sorry, plus the robotics facility. This is going to be a big Immortal Sentry push with +1, absolutely massive, and Nerchio could end up regretting taking this 4th. It's a very greedy play, thinking that everything's been the same so far. Maybe Elfi's going to take that 3rd, I want to get ahead, but by doing so, it means that his tech is delayed. The Estes Hydra Den is going to be monumentally important. If Nerchio can get out some Hydras in a sizable force, he can annihilate this entire composition, because with no Colossi, no Storms or anything like that, Hydras are incredibly good against gateway units and Immortals, so it's a really strong way to go, but he's got to get it out in time, and there is the reveal of it. Just as Nerchio had gone for 8 drones, all of his lava just spent on getting a huge number of drones out. He's going to have to start banking that next inject wave. 6 Hydras on their way out. Overlords are getting taken out. This is really just Nerchio trying to get a good read on what is here. Proxy pylons are coming down, more warpins on their way. Really close proxy pylon there. We'll see the 4th base. That is dead and gone. The only plus side is, though, it buys Nerchio a little bit more time, because while Elfi's busy destroying this, Nerchio is busy getting out some Hydralists. That's essential. All the Zerglings, nice picking off that proxy pylon there, but there are a couple more around, plus that Warp Prism too. This is all good news for Elfi. The only downside to losing that pylon, other than obviously the warp in location, is that it will hurt his supply count. A single Hydra from the back here, revealing that they are indeed out on the field. Mass Zealot, Mass Sentry. Pretty much no Stalkers in this composition at all, and because of this, Nerchio is just abandoning his 3rd base. He knows he's not going to be able to do it. Good defensive time warp here, making sure that any speedlings that come in won't be quite as effective, making a nice little tunnel there where the Zealots can try and get in a good position. The Hydras, of course, are still going to be very devastating. They're high DPS against this, but they need something to buffer the damage for them. They're incredibly squishy, and that's what's lacking for the time being. More Hydras are coming out, more force fields are being utilized here by Elfi. No sign of a counterattack or anything like that, just Nerchio trying to hold on. He loses his 3rd, and that on its own is a bad position. He's now on equal basis with Elfi, and of course Elfi still in a great position to defend most of this. The Spire is going to go down as well, another critical tech structure. A lot of Hydralists morphing in here, but they're all getting cancelled pretty damn quick, as there are so many units just sieging this 3rd. It is down. The Spire falls too. Nerchio on 2 bases, a handful of Hydras trying to defend behind this. Of course, Elfi is just about to finish up with his robotics base, so can start producing some Colossi to deal with these Hydras. So as long as he doesn't lose everything now, he's in an amazing spot. Nerchio going for the final fight, but in a nice tidy little choke here with some good force field, zoning out a lot of those Hydras. Elfi is just punching forward. He takes out the Queens. Hydras are streaming in from the left. Is Nerchio going to be able to break this army? I don't think he is. He's now being forced to retreat back again. Another couple of force fields, catch another Hydra or 2. 7 Hydra is just about to pop out. Nerchio clinging on for dear life. Of course, if he loses this game, he will lose the series. It's a best of 3, and there we go. And GG, and a little bit of an interesting comment there came down from Nerchio, but Elfi, he did very good there. That was some really nice play. Really nice timing push, and if Nerchio could, if he hadn't have taken the 4th and got a couple more Hydras out slightly sooner, maybe he could have held, but of course that isn't what the story wrote. So congratulations to Elfi taking that series 2-0. If you enjoyed that cast, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily, So yeah, hit that sub button, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for yet another new game. I'm Madals, thanks for watching, and bye for now.